The book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rocha HaKodash. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace, love, salutations, blessings to the house of David, which is the elect, the men, women, and children that are predestined to receive salvation from Yahweh Shai and to be the first fruits of the kingdom of heaven, which is the kingdom of Israel. So we're just going to get a couple of news and prophecies. This verse is starting with violent protest in Italy erupts after coronavirus curfew instituted. All right, and you also had in Spain they instituted the another curfew lockdown. All right, in El Paso, Texas, they are doing another curfew shutdown lockdown, and over here in New Jersey, starting with Newark, they're doing a curfew shutdown slash lockdown. So as we see, this second so-called second wave, the second shutdown is commencing, all right, all across the world. And as we see how effective, the first shutdown was, which it wasn't effective at all, but it did affect drastically the economies of the world, all right, here in Babylon and in other parts of the earth. A lot of economies, a lot of countries, businesses, and commerce and consumerism, all that was affected. So we'll see, how much more, destructive this second shutdown is going to be, because a lot of people haven't even recovered from the first one. And this is all in order to bring in that what they have deemed that great reset, aka the new world order. All right. And a lot of the citizens are not, they're starting to, become restless. Okay. They're becoming not trusting of their government to do the right thing, because ultimately the wicked is bearing rule and the people are mourning. And what is happening is the people are not just sitting back and taking it. A lot of people are, up in an uproar, as the scriptures, tells us that was going to happen in these last days. So play this clip, and I got a couple of other clips I'll play as well.
Angry protests flared in at least two major cities in Italy on Monday night against a new round of government restrictions, including nightly curfews, and violence has followed some of the demonstrations. Witnesses say a number of luxury stores, including a Gucci fashion shop, were looted in Turin as crowds of youths took to the streets after nightfall, letting off huge firecrackers and lighting coloured flares. Police responded with volleys of tear gas. There were also clashes in Milan, whose surrounding areas were hit hard during the early stages of the pandemic. There were chants of freedom, freedom, freedom from crowds as they confronted police in the city centre. Protests have gathered in around a dozen other cities at the start of the week to immediately push back against the renewed restrictions. Bars and restaurants have been ordered to close by 6 p.m. Public gyms, cinemas and swimming pools have also been shut. Business owners have expressed fears that the new restrictions could bankrupt them. The government has promised to present a package of measures to support businesses hurt by the new restrictions and calm tensions.
So, all right, there you have it. Okay, that was in Italy. All right, so you got from New York City to Milan to Spain, to Portugal to Belarus. All right, to Chicago. All right, there's another video I got of protesting and rioting is happening over there in Chicago last night because of a Jake that got shot and killed by the police. All right, which the same thing what was going on a couple months ago, starting in May because of George Floyd. So you got just a bunch of all hell is just breaking loose all across the world. All right. And, the citizens of these different various countries, they're people are just fed up with the way the conduct of how things are being ran. And this is why this devil is going to bring forth those draconian laws, man, because he wants to ultimately be able to, he's going to bring that order out of chaos. OK, and he's causing the chaos, but ultimately because he wants to bring in a new order. All right. He's not going to bring in the old order. That's why everybody, the whole mantra was what? The new normal, the new normal. There's no going back to how things used to be, how life used to be. All right. This devil, he knows he has but a short time. So he's now trying to move with his plan of complete and utter domination. He already has, control over the earth, as it is written in the book of Job, the ninth chapter, the 24th verse. But this devil wants to be like the Most High, right? So like he wants to be like the Most High. So he wants to have that complete dominance over the world. So let me this is another video. So bear with me 1 second. So before I get that, you get this in the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, chapter 10, verse 1. It says, "A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered." And this is why we know that Esau, Edom, all right, first and foremost, that the rulers of this age, as we are approaching the end of this world, as the scriptures tells you that Esau is the end of the world, we know that Esau, the so-called Caucasian race, are the Edomites, and that they're the devil that the Bible speaks of. They're the evildoers because their government is not well ordered. They're not prudent. They're not wise. They rule with a satanic energy. They rule with with wickedness, man. Okay, with unrighteousness, and that's why their governments, their system, all right, is not well ordered. Which is why you have uproars all over the earth happening, as we speak. Verse 2, it says, "As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers." All right, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. And what kind of man is Esau? He's a what? The scripture calls him a deceiver, a beast. All right, there's let's get that real quick. Okay, he calls him the devil, Satan, that serpent. So if that's how Esau is and he is the ruler, then that's how the people are going to be. And this is why you have nothing but just chaos ensuing all over the world, because people are in the mind of the ruler of the city. All right, which is who? That great dragon, man. All right, this is where is it at? Yeah, Revelation chapter 13, verse 11, it says, "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." Okay, which represents how Esau moves and operates. Okay, he presents himself in a manner of being peaceful. He presents himself as a person that wants, success for everybody, that wants quote unquote equality for everybody, that wants life for everybody. But really, through his laws, through his way of living, through his policies, okay, through what he does, all right, it's draconian. It's a dragon. It's beast-like. All right, and that's why it says, "I beheld another beast." And we go into that word beast. Okay, that's speaking about America. Okay, that's that beast that was wounded unto death but did live. All right, Babylon the Great. It says metaphorically, it says a wild animal, wild beast. Metaphorically, a brutal, bestial man, savage, ferocious. And that's how this devil is. A dangerous animal. Venomous. Okay. And he's venomous through what? Okay. Because venom from an animal, from a snake, comes from his mouth, right? So how is Esau? His mouth, what he speaks is venomous. Because it doesn't, when you get bit, somebody gets bit by a snake, you don't automatically, die. It takes time for it to go through your bloodstream and then attack your central nervous system and your organs, so on and so forth, and then you die. And that's how Esau is, right? Through his gradualism, through his the way he operates, it's crafty. So what he does, he is as he strikes afterwards, after the strike is when the effects of that strike take place. And that's why it says he's brutal, a bestial man, okay, savage, ferocious. So if that's how the ruler is, then that's how the people are going to be. That's why it says right here, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. Okay, hey, and we're going to watch. how these officers just, why there's riots out in the streets protesting, so on and so forth, because the officers of the judge are just like the judge himself. And what manner the ruler of the city, what manner of man the ruler of the city is, did not the Lord say that two in Rebekah's womb, there was two nations was in thy womb, and two manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels, Jacob and Esau, which is why the people are mourning, because the unrighteous are in authority. Such are all they that dwell therein. And ultimately, which is why you're going to have, Egyptian against Egyptian, which is why you're going to have the love of many waxing cold, okay? And people are going to be at each other's throats because they're in the vibration of this bestial, savage, ferocious, venomous man, okay? It says, verse 3, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them that are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. And there's no prudence coming from the ones that are in authority, which is why these cities are going to be laid desolate, which is why there's going to be uproars in various different cities, okay? Which is why there's going to be chaos everywhere, because the ruler doesn't know anything except chaos, all right? As Yahweh Shai said, the thief cometh not but to steal, kill, and destroy, all right? So now let's get this other other video. Let me just hold this precept real quick. Now let's go back to here.
Now, where demonstrators took to the streets overnight after police shot and killed a man armed with a knife. Eva Pilgrim has the story.
Overnight, taking to the streets of Philadelphia, outraged over the death of Walter Wallace Jr., the 27-year-old man armed with a knife shot by police Monday afternoon. People covering the streets as fireworks and other projectiles explode in the air, surrounding a police car engulfed in flames. Lines clearly drawn, at times the crowd forcing cruisers back in the streets. 30 officers injured over the course of the night. This video shows a pickup plowing into an officer. That officer currently in stable condition. At least 33 people were arrested. Police say officers were responding to a domestic call when they encountered Wallace, allegedly armed with a knife. This video shows two officers on the scene. They repeatedly ask Wallace, the man in all black here, to put the knife down as he continues making his way towards them before they open fire.
Two discharging officers. Is there any injuries to those officers? No injuries to police. Well, was shot in the chest and the shoulder, it appears.
Wallace was transported to the hospital where he later died. Emotions in the neighborhood running high. Residents say there were better options.
Y'all could have put out a taser. Y'all could have shot him in the leg.
Why was the fact that the first thing them officers did was pull their weapon on that man?
The Philadelphia Police Commissioner on the scene to hear their frustrations, saying the video of the shooting raises questions that need answering.
I'm here to listen. I don't have answers for what happened today. It just happened.
And that unrest overnight, not over. This video from Philadelphia showing looting still happening just minutes ago. And that shooting, it is under investigation. Those two officers that were involved, they have been placed on desk duty pending the outcome of that investigation. Robin.
All right, Eva, thank you.
So, hey, man, and that man had a death angel on him, man, because, if he had that Jake, if he had any wisdom, he wouldn't be, conducting himself in that manner. But however, still nonetheless, these officers, like how the guy said, they could have pulled out tasers on him. Okay. There's plenty of videos that show Edomites doing the same thing, going towards cops, with a knife in their hands, and they just taser them, use non-lethal weapons. But regardless of the fact, this is what's going on in today's times that we're living in, man. All right. The redeeming the times, because the days are evil, which is why, we are constantly watching and warning and telling our people that the times that we're living in are only going to become, more and more evil, more and more wicked, more and more spirits of vengeance are going to be out here. More and more death is going to be around the corner, because this is how the Lord is going to bring the downfall of Babylon the Great and the whole beast system entirely. But before that happens, This devil is going to use all this hell that is happening, all this carnage that is happening to come down with great wrath because he knows he has but a short time, pursuant to Revelation 12, verse 12. But this is 2nd Esdras 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe means distress or destruction. So this is, once again, the times that we're living, a season, the seasons that we are in right now, man. We're in the time of destruction, distress to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword in their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there should be sedition among men. Hey, and going back to verse 15, that's why you're hearing about all these different riots and violence that's about to take place because of this election. Okay. And that's happening across, different various parts of the world. People are violent, protesters and anti-protesters are going back and forth with each other, man. And people are dying. I believe a brother just posted something in a group chat where it says that because of an election, I forgot exactly where, but you had a couple people die in a country, because of a protesting of an election. I can't, I don't remember exactly where it's at. I'm trying to go through our group chat right now to see if I can find it. But all right, here it goes. It's post-election unrest in Guyana. I think that's how you pronounce it. But it says has left 21 dead in according to national TV. Okay, so post-election unrest in Guyana has left 21 dead, and according to national TV. So therefore, this is what's going on. All right, Salakia, Guinea, I believe it's Guinea. Yeah, in the west coast of Africa, but you got that happening there in Belarus. Okay, in different parts of the earth, you have people, protesting with and fighting one against another with swords in their hands. Verse 16, it says, for there shall be sedition among men and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And that's what was shown in these two videos over there in Italy, Milan. Okay, places that are esteemed as, hot tourist places and luxurious places to visit. You got protesting cars on fire, stores being bashed in. All right, over there in Philly, they're over there, running over cops. So all hell is breaking loose in these streets, man. It's ultimately because what the righteous are in authority and the people are mourning, man. And this is going to continue to keep happening and escalate as times, comes toward the end of this age, man. So, I ended there, Lord willing. This was edifying unto the elect. Hey, stay watching, stay diligent, stay circumspect. All right, to the men, women that are believers. All right, pray for yourselves, pray for your families, that the Lord protects us in these times, man, because it's only going to be by way of the protection and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai that we shall be able to endure these things, man. But as the Lord said, fear none of these things, man. Okay, because these things must come to pass. All right, so actually, let me get one more scripture. In the book of Luke, chapter 21. Verse 34. It says, take heed to yourselves, and lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, so that day come upon you unawares. For as a snare it shall come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. All right, so these things, that's why it's happening throughout the four corners of the earth, because this is the visitation of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Verse 36, watch ye therefore and pray always. So you got to be watching, man. You got to pay attention. This is why the Lord set up the watchmen, and you got to take heed. Don't misuse the prophets. Don't mock the prophets. Don't think that, oh, yeah, I just been saying the same thing over and over. No, the Lord is putting the spirit on us to watch it and bring these things out, because these are the signs, man. And when the Lord stop having the prophets out, that's when it's at the pinnacle of shit hitting the fan. But it says, watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass, and to stand before the Son of Man. All right. So yeah, we're going to be in these things, but the Lord is going to give his elect the ability to escape. But you got to be found worthy. And that's through what? Your works and your faith, whereby ye may be saved. So with that, till next time, shalom.